In 2022, I passed the FTMO challenge twice, and here's everything that I learned. Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Now, if you're new here, I'm Sam. I'm the owner and founder of KB Trading, and I've been involved in the financial markets since 2015 when I opened my first live trading account. Now, in the past 7 years, I've had some phenomenal experiences in the market. I've traded a ton of different assets, from European bond futures to even spot crypto, spot FX in the CFD markets, commodities, and pretty much everything else in between. And I've done it in probably one of the most turbulent macroeconomic periods in recent history within the markets. We had oil literally crashing to below zero. We've had Brexit, we've had the COVID pandemic, Russia going to war on Ukraine, the crazy Donald Trump US presidency as well. That was a super volatile period. But in this time, I've had the pleasure of teaching at various universities around the country here in Scotland and mentoring thousands of students online through my company KB Trading, where we've helped many of our members achieve online financial funding with prop firms. And that is pretty much a good segue into the topic of this video, because this video is about everything I've learned from passing the FTMO challenge twice this year. So first of all, why after all these years in the markets have I decided to go the proprietary trading route? Especially after helping so many of my students pass FTMO challenges, why have I only just decided to do them myself? Now, those of you who have followed the channel for a little while, you'll know I've never actually traded proprietary capital. I've just traded my own. And one of the big and leading factors behind this was the rules that proprietary trading firms have had. Now, these rules, whilst necessary and whilst I understand them, I always felt that they were over restrictive, such as not being able to trade over news, not being able to hold trades over weekends, and that kind of thing. But earlier this year, or at the end of last year, everything changed. With regards to FTMO when they released the FTMO swing trading account, which allows you to hold over weekends, it allows you to hold over key event risk in the markets and that kind of thing. And I thought that is much more suited to the way I trade in the markets. Now, combine this with the fact that over the past year, my interest and conviction within the crypto markets has increased exponentially. It made sense for me to start taking money that I would be trading and investing it into crypto, still trading my own personal funds, but starting to allocate more and more capital instead of putting it into my own trading account, to start allocating it into crypto projects that I had a lot of conviction in, and then just trade someone like FTMO's money. And so this year, in around about March, I passed my first FTMO challenge and verification, and then just the other week, I passed my second FTMO challenge and verification. Now, at the moment, I'm trading my own personal funds, which I recently launched a Myfxbook for. I launched that Myfxbook back in August, and I'm up about 24% so far, which I'm super pleased about. I'll leave a link to that in the description. So I have my own personal funds, which I'm trading. I now have an FTMO account, and I'm also trading a Lark funding account at the moment, which is $250,000. The profit target on that is $25,000, and I'm up $20,000 on that at the moment. So I'm very, very close to passing that Lark account as well. Once I've achieved that, I'm actually going to do a dedicated video review to the Lark funding account on this YouTube channel. So this is going to be a relatively casual video here, basically to outline some of the tips and some of the things I learned whilst doing the FTMO challenge. Now, I don't have a script of all the tips that I want to give you, so these are pretty much rolling off the top of my head, but here's some useful things that you should know about setting the FTMO challenge, and this is advice that I would give to all of my students as well. Now, first off, my situation may be different to a lot of yours in the sense that I'm already a trader. I already have my own personal funds to trade, my own investments and savings and other streams of income. So I'm not fully dependent upon getting funded to have an income stream because I have my own capital to trade. Now, if you are in the situation where you don't have streams of income, you don't have your own capital to trade, you don't have savings and investments and that kind of thing, and you have no safety net to fall back on, I would say you're probably not in the position where you should be taking an FTMO assessment. And the reason is because you're pretty much hinging and depending upon that FTMO assessment to provide you an income. So if you don't pass it, that's going to be absolutely critical for you, which is really going to mess up your performance on the challenge. When setting the FTMO assessment, you need to understand that it's likely that you're going to fail the challenge. You may breach the drawdown limits, you may get slipped on a news event or something like that, and then you lose that challenge account and you've lost however much you spent on it, whether it was £300 or £1,000 or whatever the maximum account size is. So it's very important that you're not dependent upon the outcome of that challenge for your future, because that's just going to mess with your performance. What I would say is much better, rather than spending £1,000 on the maximum FTMO account size, put that £1,000 into your own personal trading account and just trade it for 6 months. Now, if you know how to trade and you know historically your drawdowns aren't going to be that big, risk 2%, risk 4% on that account. If you're trading a £1,000 account on 4% risk, if you make £5 per month, that's £200 per month. Now, if you can pull that off for 6 months, you've made 1,200 quid, you've made enough money to set an FTMO challenge simply from trading and profiting off of your own personal trading results. So I think it's much more beneficial if you're someone who this is the only money you have and you don't have your own personal trading account, build a small personal trading account and trade that until you've saved up a little bit of money so that you could set multiple FTMO accounts if you had to. Now, my second tip would be, before you go to the FTMO challenge, let's say you've got your own personal funds, you're not dependent upon it, whatever, make sure that your strategy and your performance indicates that you will be able to pass this, I would say at least 3 times within the year. If you set an FTMO challenge every single month of the year for the last 5 years, how many times would you have passed? And this is fairly simple to do. If you've backtested your strategy over the past 5 years in all of the assets you trade, which you should do if you're looking to be a professional trader, you'll be able to go through your backtesting journal and see how many times you would have passed the FTMO challenge over the past 5 years. Try it first on 1% risk. You may find that on 1% risk, you'd only pass it 5 times in 5 years. Also work out how many times you would lose it in those 5 years on 1% risk. How many times would you exceed the daily drawdown limit? How many times would you exceed the overall drawdown limit? Now then try it on 2% risk. How many times in the past 5 years would you have passed on 2% risk? How many times would you have lost the account on 2% risk? Now, if from those numbers you can see that perhaps you would have passed it 3 or 4 times per year over the past 5 years, I'd say your strategy is pretty much ready to go and it's time to move on to actually setting the FTMO challenge. Now, the third tip would be, instead of going for the 200k FTMO account, put that money aside or into a trading account and trade it, and then take a little bit of that money and get a 50k FTMO account. Set the FTMO account, and if you lose it, you can dip back into that pot of money and get another one and reset it the next month. Effectively, what we're doing here is we're trying to increase our probability of passing the FTMO account as much as possible. Now, why are we doing it like that? Now, you might find that in the year from your back testing, from your historical results, you would pass the FTMO challenge 6 times and lose it 6 times. Now, those could literally happen win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. Or they could happen win, 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 lose, 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 win, 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 lose, 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 etc., etc. So you might find that you hit one of those losing months and you lose the FTMO account, and then the next month you would have came in and actually passed it. The next month you would have lost, the next month you would have passed it, etc. So if you, instead of going all out and getting that 200k FTMO account, if you know that your strategy is profitable, set a smaller one, and if you lose it that month, set the same size one the next month. If you lose it that month, set the same size one the next month. All we're doing here is we're increasing our probability of passing the FTMO challenge. The alternative is spend £1,000 to do the $200,000 FTMO account and you lose it, and then you don't have enough money to reset it the next month, and you find that for the next 3 months you would have passed it every single month. So just like in regular trading, don't get greedy, guys. There's no need. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Get a 50k FTMO account, trade that for a while, withdraw some profits, use that to get the 100k FTMO account, trade that for a little while, get some profits, and just keep on doing that, keep on building up that way. You don't need to jump in right at the deep end straight away. Now, the next tip is trade copiers. I personally use the Social Trader Tools trade copier. I don't have a partnership or an affiliate link with these guys, but it's a phenomenal little tool, their trade copier. This allows me to just trade my own personal trading account every day and it will automatically copy those trades onto the FTMO challenge, or now the FTMO funded account. Since I'm trading multiple trading accounts, the trade copier is an extremely useful tool. And this allows me to simply only worry about my live real funds, and everything else is just copied. All of the management, pending orders, etc. are copied across all of my accounts. So the whole time throughout the challenge process, I'm making income from my own personal trading account, whilst at the same time passing challenges in the background. So that works really, really nicely. Now, the next tip I would give you here is the objective of the FTMO challenge is not to hold on to the account forever and never breach the drawdown limit. The objective is to pass the challenge. Now, that's kind of flipped, because once you're funded, or when you have your own live funds, what's more important is not to lose too much money, not to over risk, not to blow the account. Not blowing the account is more important than making money month on month. With the FTMO account, you cannot treat it like a normal account, because you have a time limit to meet a certain profit target. So your priority is to meet that profit target, not to simply hold on to the account and never breach any drawdown limits. I saw one of our traders sitting an FTMO assessment for a year, and every single month he would end slightly in profit, maybe 5% up, maybe 2% up, maybe 0.5% up, and he would get a free retry the next month. And this was just an endless cycle of him continually getting free retries. And when we looked at his results over the year, he'd made something like 60%. He'd made 60% for the year, which is solid returns, but he'd never passed an FTMO account. He was just getting those free retries. Now, this is because he was risking too small. I would recommend for the FTMO challenge, risking a little bit more than you would normally risk to increase your chance of hitting that profit target. Now, of course, this is also going to increase your chance of breaching the drawdown limit, but we have to find that balance, right? We have to find that balance, and you can only do that through looking through your historical testing. Now, that's all from me for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're someone who's interested in setting the FTMO account, but you're just struggling to get consistency within the markets, check out some of our links in the description. We have a Discord for just £50 per month where I show all of my trades and analysis. We do daily live streams and that kind of thing as well. We have a variety of courses for both beginners with no experience and also intermediate traders just looking to take their first steps into a professional trading career. So please drop this video a like and consider subscribing if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.